Don, what was the biggest concern for you, the structure or the approach to the game? Or?
Well, in summary, I thought, the game was, it was good. We knew it was going to be a fierce start, and I thought our guys, settled down reasonably well. And halfway through that second quarter, the game was sort of being played in our half, and we were winning our share of the contest, and it was all looking good. It was probably the 3 goals just before half time, which probably kept the door open, or kicked the door back open. Not that it was fully closed, but and then our second half was just poor.
Yeah, why was that?
Oh, look, all credit to Melbourne. I thought they came over with a clear, and they've been doing it all year. Their contested stuff and their pressure around the ball was very good, and we won the hit-outs convincingly. First possessions were about even, but their ability to pressure and force the turnover was too good on the night.
You said during the week that you'd have contingencies if Rory Sloane was tagged like he was last week against North Melbourne. What were those contingencies? Because we held pretty well tonight.
We put Rory forward. We put him to the wing. We put him. He was on ball. He was trying to make 2v1s. He did a range of things. Didn't work for him tonight.
Is it enough to say that the competition's figured out the way to stop the Crows is by stopping Rory Sloane?
No, because I've always said that we rely on an even contribution. And that's been the case. When I've sat here and we've won games of footy, we talk about that even contribution. Well, tonight we didn't get an even contribution from our playing group. It's not about one player. It's about our playing group playing the way we know we're capable of, but everyone contributing and playing their role, and we didn't have enough tonight that played their role.
Don, what was the message at quarter time? Because you seem a little animated, and then at 3/4 time.
Well, quarter time it was more just to continue doing a bit of what we do. I think that we started a little... the game took a while to settle, but I felt at quarter time the game was being played sort of the way we wanted, as long as we could maintain our pressure around the ball and win our share. At 3/4 time it was more of a reinforcement of just what was acceptable and what wasn't.
And they're a very proud playing group, very professional playing group. What are the points that you've just said to them now? How do you deal with them now? Because they'd be very disappointed. Yeah, they're disappointed, and we're responsible for what we put out there tonight, and that's myself and the coaching group included. We don't shy away from that. But the things we highlighted were just the areas we let ourselves down in, and areas we've been really strong in 6 of the first 7 weeks. So is that the message you take out of this game? Or Well, I'll review the tape in more detail, the exact learnings of it, but it was quite clear that Melbourne's second and third efforts and their work rate around and away from the stoppage, the longer the game went, the more that we got exposed in there. Who were the Melbourne players who hurt you tonight? Pretty even across the board. We weren't sort of sitting there worried about one individual in particular. It was more their ability to just move the ball forward and score too easily.
How concerning is it, Don, that last week you had 10 unanswered goals kicked against you, and tonight it was 9 between the end of the second quarter and obviously during the third? Does that show that the players are just, I suppose, at times when things aren't going against them, they just can't find a way to turn things around? Well, it's not ideal in terms of a chain of scoring. I know they kicked the last 3 of the second quarter and started the third quarter really well. We'd like to think we could recover quicker than we did in that space, but the reality was that the numbers, the way they were scoring was coming out of the contest. Sam Jacobs dominated the ruckies. Tonight was 76 hit-outs to 29. You lost the clearances 49 to 38. Does that show the midfielders, I suppose, didn't do their job properly? Oh, we had some reasonable connection, but as I said, to Melbourne's credit, they've been doing it for 2 or 3 weeks now, and they're not relying on the hit-outs. They're relying on their pressure around the ball, and a lot of times we'd win it and we'd be stripped of the ball, and then the next ball would flow to them and they'd win the clearance. So credit to Melbourne tonight.
Have you gone away from the contested stuff a little bit, you think? As in how you performed it? They seem to out-physical you and out-muscle you a little bit. Yeah, they were very good in the contest tonight. They were better than us in the contest. Yeah. There's no doubting that. But as I said, it's an area we've been really strong at. With the exception of the first quarter last week, even we won the numbers there. So it's been a real strength of ours this season. Tonight we played a side who beat us in that area. So we live and we learn. What about next week, Don? Obviously Brisbane, hoping to get Jake Lever and Rolly Knight back for that game? Yeah, both of those guys should be available. And we've got some work to do on the track this week. Okay. We need to get to work, and that's the only place you're going to find it. It doesn't just magic its way back. We've had a couple of down weeks, and we've got to
we got to roll the sleeves up on the training track and get organised and get ready to go for Brisbane.
As cliche as it sounds, are they the losses you needed to have to sort of get back on track?
No, I'm not a great believer in losses you need to have. I'd like to think, that you don't need to lose games of footy to understand what creates winning.
What about Troy Menzel came off in the last quarter, didn't go back on? There was reports that a left groin injury. Is that?
No, I haven't caught up with the docs yet in terms of that. I know he had some soreness, but I haven't caught up with the docs to see if it's severe or not. But what I understand, there's not very much there.
Okay.
What happened to your run and your overlap, the stuff that looked so fantastic in the first 6 weeks?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. That was, again, credit to Melbourne, the pressure they put on. And we didn't spread with anywhere near how we did early in the season, or have been early in the season. So, good challenge for us.
Yeah. So providing more options for the guy with the ball is one of the key things. Yeah,
well, we want to be able to get extra numbers to the contest, and we need to be able to spread hard to give those options. And that's we didn't do that consistently tonight. When we did, we were able to move the ball fairly efficiently. But when we didn't, we got held up a little bit.
Did you notice there was only 2 umps in the last quarter?
No, I didn't notice that.
The emergency umpire didn't come back on at the end of the third quarter. So it was only 2 central umpires.
I wasn't aware of that.
I just didn't notice anything that happened that...
No.
No? Weren't informed by the AFL or anything?
No, didn't know it. News to me.
Thanks, guys. Simon Goodwin didn't know either.
Yeah, they didn't know.